Welcome to Job Simulator VR. We are the last human left alive and we must help the bots experience what it was like to work as a normal person. Starting off in the job archive, we must experience the daily life as an office worker, a gourmet chef, a store clerk, as well as a car mechanic. Starting out in the archive, we complete our first achievement pretty easily. We decide to chuck a job cartridge at our new friend, getting our first achievement given back for hitting the job bot with any item in the museum. After eyeing down the different jobs, I decided to tackle the office job first on the list. Grabbing the game cartridge, sticking it in the machine, we're teleported into our cubicle where we're greeted with different gadgets and decorations. Starting our first task and day with some donuts and coffee like any other office worker, we get some good Joe from the machine and chug it. We help ourselves to the rest of the donuts.
Kobe!
After attempting to turn on my computer and start my first task, I realized that I need to be plugged in first. Totally something I wouldn't do in real life. We delete some emails and get a visit from our boss. We are greeted with a sudden promotion, which is crazy because the only task we've done is plug in our computer and delete some emails. It's always the finger guns. We then become assistant to the supervisor. Our first task in our new promotion is to fix the expenses report. Doing all this quick math in my head, I boop some numbers on the keyboard and get everything fixed. Totally correct how it should be. We get everything into the green. We do a little cooking of the books around here. We continue on working, get in some snacks, viewing some memes from a coworker bot across the cubicle, and finally make a super professional PowerPoint presentation in which we present it to all the staff. I do say I killed it with the transitions and data points. Some previous totally legal decisions are coming back to haunt us. We are presented with a shredder and are tasked with destroying some unneeded documents. First of all, I take my anger out on this cute little robot on my desk for you monster for shredding the JobBot toy in the office worker job. We then shred the books we cooked initially and some totally legal, legit side cash that we 100% earned. Finally, to cover up our tracks, we shred some random items at our desk to make the evidence harder to find. For some reason afterwards, some cop bots came by asking about our boss. We then speak to our boss's boss about our boss going on vacation somewhere nice. We blow out some candles, open a present. It is our new desk decoration featuring our new title, Senior Mid-Boss's Aide. Accepting the gift, we pull the lever to signal the end of the day, busting out some dance moves, and finishing the office worker job gets us Cubicle Cowboy for finishing the office worker job. Heading back to the archive, we jump straight into our next simulation, Gourmet Chef. Loading in, we see our fancy new kitchen we have to work with, as well as the new gadgets we have for cooking. First task out of our new job is to cook some bacon and eggs, ooh, my favorite. We then blend up a tasty concoction, biscuits and tea, for a British spot customer. Finally, we are ordered to make a delicious soup and add a few different ingredients. I refill the pot with water once we've made our first soup and add the can of soup to our new soup we just made. After a few seconds, our second batch of soup cooks, we unlock Soupception for making a soup with soup in it. We continue on cooking a few other things, such as a sandwich, a very, very nice piece of steak.
I'm tainted meat.
Drinking away some of our sorrows, we send the steak out with some wine. We also cook some pizzas with applesauce instead of tomato sauce. And we then help a robot hide an engagement ring in a sandwich and watch the proposal. Time goes on, we cook, clean some dishes, put out a few fires in the kitchen. We actually end up on a TV show with a somewhat very rude chef boss ordering us around. Seems familiar. Getting through all the tasks, we eat our exit burrito and head back to the archives, getting us the achievement Culinary Completionist for finishing the gourmet job. Since we became a star office employee, a gourmet chef, I figured it was time to see what it was like as a store clerk. Inserting the game cartridge, we load into a nice looking convenience store. As soon as I see the lottery ticket drawer, my mind goes blank. I can't fight the urge anymore and I open it and do a little gambling. Maybe I'll strike it rich. Grabbing a handy coin, I start to scratch away, and after only scratching 5 of these tickets, I win the big jackpot of $8,162,012. Winning the lottery unlocked Lucky Winner for scratching the winning lottery ticket in the store clerk job. Now that I was set for life, I finally start my clerk job by grabbing the first ticket. There's not much to this job, just getting some items for customers, cooking or making drinks sometimes, as well as some smaller tasks like cleaning or stocking the shelves. I start off by turning on the security monitor and seeing myself and waving at the self in the video feed. We get our first customer who wants nothing but some chips and a glizzy. What a combo. We cook up some dogs, scan the items, and get paid for the first time, putting the money in the drawer. I then serve some candy bars and a slushie, which we are supersized, some lottery tickets and a newspaper, some sugar for a kid before their parents get out of the bathroom. We get them all wired up. We are then introduced to the energy drink bot, who allows us to create our own marketing station to be displayed in the store. I try my very best at what I think it should look like. Pressing the button made me realize just how much I screwed up. Turns out it should have been facing me the whole time and not the customers, so all my work went down to the drain as it was facing backwards away from the customers. Whoopsie. We then serve some more customers and are eventually given a restock box. where we must restock some of the shelves of lower stock items. This only ended up being a few magazines, a couple gum, and as well as some candy bars. It did not take long for the criminal bot to get revenge for being fired in the first initial office job. I was robbed at Banana Point, however, taking his banana only made him reveal more. Who knows where he was hiding these. We comply and open the safe, handing over the sweet cheddar he demanded. After doing some chilling out from being robbed at Banana Point, we get to play with the CleanerBot 2000, a little remote-controlled drone that lets us clean up Slurpee messes all around the floor. This is actually my favorite part of this job. The gameception was real here. Finally, after a while, some cops came in with some suspects. They handed us some IDs and asked us to identify the criminal from earlier. Without hesitation, I send that bot straight to the slammer. Doing so unlocked the achievement Champion of Convenience for finishing the store clerk job. Eating the burrito to go back to the archive, we set off for our last and frankly my least favorite job in the game, the Car Mechanic Simulator. Loading into my last and my least favorite game, I can see multiple gadgets ranging from a color picker for paint jobs, the controls for rotating and moving the vehicles around as we work on them, a car decorator creator for creating hood ornaments, as well as a machine that provides us with all the parts and tools we need to fix vehicles. Similar to the other jobs, we have to perform some kind of tasks like pulling a ticket or pulling this chain down in order to start our task for the day. After opening up the door, we're introduced to our first customer in a blue car. We're then introduced to how to move the vehicle around and how to operate and clean up and fix the vehicle. Opening up the hood, we fill it with some new liquid and as well as seeds of potato where the battery should be, which we replace. Rotating the vehicle to its side and opening the glove compartment to grab the glove gets me the achievement Give Yourself a Hand for grabbing the hidden glove in the auto mechanic's job. We then print out the bill for the customer and hand it to them, finishing off our first task of the day. I thought this mode was pretty boring compared to the others. I'm not sure if that was just because of having to constantly rotate the vehicles around or some of the controls for this mode were actually kind of finicky, but throughout the day we sabotaged a customer's vehicle, we gave an old car a fresh look with a pink paint job, we plugged up an exhaust pipe with a good old banana, we replaced all the wheels on a car like I'm a NASCAR team member, and finally decorated an advertisement board with some hanging refreshers. And finally, we decorated a just married car, adding a bunch of cool stuff onto it so they can advertise they're just married. Finishing this last vehicle got us Maniac Mechanic for finishing the auto mechanic job. Finally. Now that we made it back to the archive after finishing all the 4 jobs, we only have 2 achievements left to gather. One related to a New Game Plus sort of mode, and another going through all the credits. I decided to add all the modifiers to the office jobs such as low gravity, bouncy mode, and a dollhouse mode, and then launch myself back into the office job on a random task. Doing so got me Job Genie for playing a job with any Job Genie cartridge. I would have played here longer, but this mode started to make me nauseous with the dollhouse effect, making me very tall. And finally, to finish off the game, I reloaded back into a clean version of the office worker job with no Job Genie cartridges. I opened up my exit briefcase right away and ripped through all the credits. This actually took a few minutes of pulling the cards out, but eventually the achievement popped after getting the last card, and we got the achievement Know Your Maker for reading through all the creds. That is 100% of Job Simulator VR. Now that I have faced the fear of getting a job, I can now say I can go through life much better and without the fear of employment. If you like the style of VR gameplay or walkthrough, achievement video, and want to see more like it, make sure to leave a comment below with maybe some suggestions or anything you might think I should add. And once again, thanks for watching. See you in the next one.